Well, hello, everybody. This is Marlena Christopher, and we are live on June 13th, 2026 at 11:11 p.m. I think that's quite interesting because I've actually been trying to get this live going since 9:30 p.m. And so I think it's no accident that I'm beginning at 11:11. I'm here and I'm joined again, so grateful, by my dear friend of Grayson County Courtroom Watch Group, Miss Katie Kava. Thank you so much for joining me tonight and being here with me for what has been a long time coming. 800 days, long time coming.
I'm honored to be
26
here.
months, 9 days coming. 2 years, 2 months, 9 days coming. And what that is my son, Joshua James McDaniels, my forever 25-year-old angel son, was allegedly found dead April 4th of 2024 in Stillwater, Oklahoma. This was at Boomer Lake Park in Stillwater. And unfortunately, for all types of different reasons that I'm not going to get into on this live because we have a lot to cover, I have known that I needed to release the 5 audios I'm going to try to work through tonight with my dear friend here with me for emotional support, commentary. She'll be making comments in the comment section. And I'm grateful for her for that because obviously when you're close to a situation or it's something like losing your own son, one of the most traumatic things people can go through, you definitely want to be in a situation where you also have other objective ears and eyes that are just really being able to perceive and hear things that you may not. But as I've shared,
My closet door just randomly opened, just by the way. Just wanted to say that.
that's okay. For the past 26 months, I've said that ultimately we got 2 stories from day one. The death notification call, we heard a lieutenant from Stillwater PD tell us that he was allegedly found hanging and had to be cut down. And then we were also told by a detective later from Stillwater PD, same police department, that he was never hanging and allegedly performed a law enforcement tactic on himself, which is called a carotid artery, or not carotid artery, but a carotid restraint, where basically there's a portion in the neck that if it is compressed for any period of time, it can actually make someone black out and die. Obviously, when law enforcement does it, they're not supposed to be trying to cause death. They're supposed to be incapacitating someone immediately. And so the story has never made sense. What I don't know that I have been crystal clear about publicly is that I don't have allegations. Those that have known me have known that I've been in the family court health system, which also has included conspiring police departments, child protective service agencies in multiple counties and multiple states, particularly Texas, Pennsylvania, Oklahoma, and more. But ultimately, I don't know that I have told people that I don't just have allegations. Just like every time I make any allegation, I don't allege unless I have proof. And I've never been actually charged or found to have ever made a false allegation. Matter of fact, I was illegally arrested and imprisoned in November of 2024 by one of our North Texas Denton County Colony Police Department because they came up with an illegal fraud-filled arrest warrant affidavit that I had to then go into the Collin County courts as pro se and through cross-examination proved to be false on the record. I do have those transcripts now. That is a totally different battle. It is a battle that I've been forced to fight simultaneously on the Texas side of the border with corruption in Collin and Denton County. Some mix with Grayson County. So My dear friend here understands about
Yes.
and
Oh
she
yeah.
also has connections with Collin County. Growing up here, she said last night we were doing some coverage, going through my notes of the Carmelo Anthony trial, as I was actually in those proceedings every day, except for the day prior to his sentencing. I was outside the courtroom. And so she grew up in Collin County, also has
Yep.
been in Grayson County and also Oklahoma. So she
Yes.
has connections just as well as understanding the dynamics of the Texas Oklahoma systems that oftentimes do not work as the justice system is supposed to. So again, I really appreciate you joining me to go
And
through.
also, I'd like to encourage court watchers everywhere.
Absolutely, absolutely. Just to, encourage people to, again, continue to stand up and fight for yourselves, for your family, right? And
Yes.
not allow injustice to stand, because
Yeah.
as we've heard it said,
We can't accept it.
absolutely, we can't accept it. And a threat to justice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. So with that,
Absolutely.
absolutely, we're going to dive into it. We're going to play the audio, so she and I will mostly be commenting in the comment section to align with the audio. I have put this live stream out, and I think I would have to allow any new people to come in. It's 11:18 at night, so we don't really expect it. I'm not a master at this, but we're going to go ahead and go through it. The first call is about 22 minutes and 2 seconds. And
I'm going on mute.
Okay, great. This is the death notification call that unfortunately myself and my second oldest son endured on that day of April 4th. It's also mixed with officers at my door where I lived at the time in Atoka County, Oklahoma. And so you'll hear both of those, but that's going to be the first audio. We're going to comment, and I'm going to go ahead and share screen and get that started.
Okay, sir, I feel like I think I know what you're talking about. Please don't tell me bad news. I can't do it.
Okay, I'm going to pause this because, Katie, I don't think you can hear it yet because I don't think I've shared
I hear it. I hear it.
You could hear it? You could hear it okay?
Yep.
Okay, let me go back into the StreamYard. Are you able to see, what are you seeing right now?
Just me and you right now.
Okay.
But I could hear the audio.
I think you could hear it because we're both backstage. So what I need to do is fix the screen. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 7. I see what to do now. All right. I don't know if we're showing a shared screen. I wish there was someone I could ask and see if they're able to see it. Okay, I apologize, everyone. I'm trying to get this together. Oh. am not a master at any of these systems, unfortunately.
And last time it
Katie,
said it was recording. Now it's not recording. I can see the
I do
it's blank
see that.
screen, but we're
I
to
do
the side now.
Yes. Okay, perfect. So that is correct. I just need to, I'm trying to share screen. Got the audio. I don't know how to. Okay, can you see a white screen right now?
No, it's black screen.
Okay.
It's just me and you, and then a blank black screen. But we're off to the side, though. Think we're getting closer.
Okay, I'm trying to. Video file, maybe? Here's what I'm going to try to do. If I go to my downloads. No, it's not showing me my downloads. I don't know why it's not letting me. Okay. I think we got it. Do you see it now?
Yep.
Okay, the only challenge is I need to figure out how to. Do you see a white screen now?
Yes.
It is just a white screen?
No, it's your computer screen, but it's white. I mean, but I can see everything on your screen.
Okay.
The tabs and everything.
Well, what I'm trying to do is now play the audio. Do you see a media player pop up?
I see.
Okay, do you hear anything?
Yeah.
Okay, sir,
Yes.
I feel like I think I know what you're talking about. Please don't tell me bad news. I can't do it. Sir, what is happening?
I'm just public with number. What's the number?
It's 405. Sir.
Okay, what is it? What else? 372, okay?
71.
Okay.
Sure. They answer when that number, when the sheet comes on, you have to press 9 to get hold of an officer.
Okay.
And you need to speak to Lieutenant Cody Manuel or Detective Rachel Brooks. No, sir. Officer Singleton, okay. I can, do you want to come in? You can come in. I can't take, sir, is he dead? No. No. Please. No. No. Sir. This is what I could not do by myself. No. Please tell me it's not. No. I can't. No. No. for short. All I need to know. So you see me, and then I need to give you the account. That's all I need. Okay. That's the only thing I need. That's the only thing I had to give you notification, but I had to make sure it was she. Okay. No. 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 I can't do this right now. Why? How? No! Listen, no. This isn't happening right now. Was he murdered? What is happening? No! No, 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 no. No. What you have going on? I have a lot going on. And that's why I was trying to tell you, it's no disrespect. I don't run from cops. We need them in society. But, like, there's a lot going on with my daughter. And then my son, my other son, I didn't even think, no, I can't. It's too much. You guys, I've been living here for years. You guys have always been amazing. That sounds like I don't know how to explain, but I just can't. And there have been officers that have breached trust and endangered my life, and so that's why I just could not open the door. And then y'all were pounding, and I was just like, I can't. And let you know. So, I apologize for if anything was misconstrued. You know my politics, but I assure you, you won't find any officers here that will ever put you in danger. Okay? And I don't know, and I apologize for any bad people. I believe that you guys have been amazing since we've been here. I have so much going on right now. I have. Yeah. Okay. If you need anything from us, please feel free to call. Okay. You have a card? I don't, but we don't have one on me. I called the number a few minutes ago. My son checked the water news and saw a report about a body found. I am starting to call you back after that. Oh. 889-3250 should be forwarded to the Etoka County Sheriff's Office, and they can dispatch it at any time. Okay. Or 889-2221 is the Etoka County dispatch. I'm hearing you, but I'm not even. And you're right. I'm hearing you, but I'm not hearing you right now. I can't. I'm trying. What is happening? God, why is this happening? Why? What is enough enough? All right, no. I don't know that. I don't know. Okay, guys. Jesus. Okay. Beans and we get feel free to trouble, okay? I'm gonna give you all that, you know, stuff like that. Okay? Right on top of the and I will always work with y'all too. Maybe one day when you understand all the stuff I'm dealing with in Texas, you'll understand I would never, if I was wanted or something, I would always cooperate with you all. But there's a lot going on right now. Thank you. No. Oh. Oh. wait. Just like just one judgment for formality in this matter. Joshua James Daniels, 7/24/98. That's right. Yeah, that's mom.
Yeah.
Were you there with your brothers?
Yeah.
I'm not at all sure what your local police department told you whenever they came out. We had requested they come out this morning because we did find your brother deceased this morning. Oh, what happened? How? What do you mean? He was found hanging at a lake, Boomer Lake, which is about a half mile from his apartment complex. And there was no trauma to his body whatsoever. There was no indication that anybody had even been around. And it appeared that he had hung himself from a tree at the lake. We did speak to his girlfriend, and she told us that they had had an argument last night, and he had been in a bad headspace and left the apartment on foot and made a comment to the effect of not wanting to do this anymore or something similar to that, and had not been seen or heard from since until he was located this morning. Jeremiah, are you still there? We are both trying to process. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I didn't drop the ball. I apologize. What was the argument about? One of the other detectives actually is interviewing her right now. It was relationship-wise. I'm not sure the specifics of it. How could he hang himself from a tree? So this not uncommon, unfortunately, that we have cases similar to this where people who have hung themselves. In this particular case, I'll tell you as much detail as you would like. Sometimes people don't want to know any details about stuff. I'm happy to give you. I'm sorry. It's fine. Okay. So in this particular case, he had a jacket on that had a hood with a string through it, and it appeared that he had taken that and fastened it to a limb on this tree, and then used his hands to wrap it around the front of his neck so that it would choke him. Where's his body right now? The Oklahoma medical examiner helps us with investigating any non-natural deaths, and they responded and took his body to the ME's office in Oklahoma City. We'll conduct an autopsy there, and at the time, apologize for sending a local law enforcement to your house, but we didn't have any good contact information for you, so it's just what we had at the time, wanting to make sure that you got that information as soon as we could make it happen. So they don't have that that information either. And my next step will be to forward this telephone number that I have to them so that they can get in touch with you, or I can provide you their telephone number for you to get a hold of them and talk through next steps.
Okay, are you Lieutenant Cody Manuel?
Yes.
Okay, what is your number? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I was having trouble understanding you.
What is your number?
It is 405-742-8202. And if you have a pen, I'll give you the medical examiner's number as well.
I'm ready.
It is 405-239-7141.
Okay. So are we supposed to call someone or they're gonna call us?
I would suggest both. I'm still going to send your number to them, and just let me confirm this. Is this your phone number? Is this Jeremiah's phone number? Okay. Is that an okay number, or would you like me to give them a different number?
You can give them, like a Jerry, you can give them 405-896-0922.
0922. Got it. I'll give both of those phone numbers to them. I would still suggest calling, and I'm not sure. They probably close at 5, but calling and just leaving a message, and that way, one way or another, they'll get my information tomorrow and give you a call, and hopefully they'll see your message and give you a call. So nothing slips through the cracks, and you guys can link up as soon as possible.
Do you have an email address for them?
I do. I think it's, let me see here, records. I'm horrible at memorizing email addresses. Give me 1 second. Yeah, the one I have for them is records, RECORDS, OKC, at OC, like Oklahoma City, ME, like medical examiner, .ok.gov.
Records OKC at ocme.ok.gov.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right.
Is there anything else I can do for you today?
Not at this time. I
You may have to think things over. That's perfectly fine. You have my phone number. Get in touch with me. Officer Rachel Bruce is the primary investigator on this case. So like I said, she's talking to the girlfriend right now as we speak. But we did want to get back with you as soon as possible since our dispatch said you had called in. So that's the reason I called you instead of her. But she will be in contact with you, and you guys can fire away any questions that you have for her. If there's anything that we can do to facilitate anything for you, just let us know.
Okay.
Again, I'm very sorry to have to give that information today. Pray for you guys.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Okay. I think that concludes the first audio. Which was the death notification call. So I'm going to keep going into the next one. Hey, Katie. Looks like you're back. I can't hear you. Are you saying you need a minute? Are you able to type in the chat? Okay, you're
Okay,
back
can
in
you
the
hear me?
stage. Can you? I can hear you.
Yeah, I accidentally hit a button earlier whenever I was trying to hit the unmute button, and then it closed me out.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay,
It's
I'm
okay. I'm
glad that
so sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
you're fine. You're good.
And so,
I'm
yes, I
gonna,
did hear what he said, and he absolutely said that he was hanging. So,
and I believe he said that it was completely around his neck. If you heard that too.
yes.
And so,
And then he said the girlfriend was in the interview room. I typed this in the chat. I'm wondering, do they not have video of that, of her in an interrogation room? How did they interview her? Was it an informal interview at the house? What was it?
that I don't know.
Because if
What
it
I
was
would
an interrogation room, you should be able to have access to that.
Okay, I'm just now seeing your private chat. Thank you for all of those
Oh,
notes.
is that not the comments? Is that not comments?
It's not. It's
How do
going
you
into a
comment?
private. So, do you see anything that says comments at the top of your screen?
Aha, there. It says join the chat with YouTube, right? It's saying connect your YouTube account to join the live chat. Ah, let me see if
Do you
it'll let
have
me
a
do it.
YouTube account?
Yes, if it disconnects me, I'm trying to log into my YouTube. If it disconnects me, I'll be right back. Hold
Okay,
on,
sounds good.
let me hit the connect button. Let me see what happens. Autofill.
So while you're doing that, I'm going to read your comments that were going in the private chat. I didn't even see them. I couldn't even sit through the whole thing. I had to walk
I'm
away.
so sorry. And I
It's
was
okay.
stress eating a little bit through that.
I can only imagine. So I'm just going to read your comments while you're trying to get set up on the YouTube. I saw something, they took pics but didn't pick. Okay, that was when we were looking at the fastener at the tree, I think, because
Yeah.
that was like 9:54. Okay, so looks like the ones that you made from this audio was the way they told you was so cruel. Yeah, it was a really difficult situation because they had actually come to my home where I was staying in Atoka County, and they were, kind of pounding on the door. And I will go ahead and give context on what was happening during that time that I was telling them about. Was the day before I had spoken with an attorney that somehow a conflict of interest check had gotten missed. And I was actually inquiring about Plano Police Department Detective Eric Frank Dockery, who apparently, I want to say in 2018 or 2019, was found to have been a part of a Mid-Cities Highland University Park drug trafficking ring that was responsible for the death of a Fairview man. And the reason that this mattered to me was because back in 2015, when my daughter's father had been making, he had made fatal shooting threats against me pertaining to if I had tried to do supervised visits or anything unfavorable in court. The original threat of that was while I was pregnant in 2013. And then as we were moving through the court system, he made another threat to have more of an aggressive approach in 2015. Didn't have to deal with court stuff because he never followed up in the courts. But I had finally gotten to a point where I wasn't going to keep being threatened with fatal death. And I had reported it to Plano PD. Well, Eric Frank Dockery, who had been with the Plano Police Department for over 20 years, was the detective on that case. At the time, I had Texas address confidentiality, which goes to the Attorney General's office. A protective order had been issued out of Collin County, temporary ex parte protective order that I wound up having to withdraw. Judge Roach, who just did the Carmelo Anthony trial, was also caught up in this. And I think when we talked last night, I explained that was the hearing where I had showed proof of those fatal shooting threats, where he reviewed the emails, said, sounds like a threat to me. And so I wound up having to withdraw going for that permanent protective order, because not only did Judge Roach then mark that hearing as canceled and never held, so there's no transcript and there's no record that a judge actually found and agreed with fatal shooting threats, but he kicked it back over to his then buddy judge right next to him in the 416th, which used to be Judge Chris Oldner. Judge Chris Oldner had already been hearing my custody case with my youngest son and my former spouse and ex-husband. And so what happened was, when Judge Roach did not finalize signing the order that he verbally issued in his courtroom and erased it like it never happened, it wound up going back to Chris Oldner, who was hearing my son's upcoming jury trial. Now, at the time, this was a situation where now it made me have to think, well, if I tell the truth about my daughter's father and his background, which I didn't know when I was dating him, he was homeowner working for a Fortune 500 company in IT, did not know that he also had drug involvement in terms of dealing. I was concerned that if I now went to finalize the protective order with all of the background in front of Chris Oldner, that I might be able to protect my daughter, maybe, but he had already been ruling not favorably to me, so it wasn't even guaranteed. But what could certainly happen is now that judge would have heard about the issues with my daughter's father and possibly use that to take my son. And so I withdrew my protective order and didn't move forward to make it permanent back in I think that was 2014 at that time, because of that fear that, you know, which child am I going to save? And Chris Oldner wasn't abiding by the law anyways, so I just withdrew the protective order. So it wasn't that it wasn't issued because it wasn't valid. It wasn't issued because I had to withdraw it. But Judge Roach was a part of making the initial hearing where evidence was presented disappear. So then 2015, Eric Frank Dockery from Plano Police Department, who had been there for 20 years, he was, I believe, a detective in crimes against persons. He further botched that investigation by basically calling my daughter's father and saying that she's in our city, she's living in Plano, but he never did an actual interview with me. And he botched that case and then just closed it out. As I was filing for a protective order, her father had then tried to create a Facebook account in my name. So under Texas law, this is called felony impersonation stalking. You cannot create a Facebook account or social media account in someone else's name and pretend to be them. And so I had proof of that. He used one of my other email addresses that was not already set up with Facebook, but police are the only ones that can get the IP address to prove who was setting up this account. So that is a subpoena that has to come from law enforcement to Facebook. That was Eric Frank Dockery's job. Instead, he decided to collude and protect the abuser, and he closed that case out. So in 2015, when I went for a protective order again, because he started threatening me again, and at this point, I was like, I don't care. I had already agreed to give custody to my ex. I didn't have the evidence that was necessary to get that protective order because Eric Frank Dockery botched the case. I wound up having to go underground in 2016 because of all this and the other things that happened to my daughter. So when I actually came back, I want to say in 2021, after I was able to get bogus warrants lifted and just different things to be able to be free, we actually had a situation in Collin County where a man was killed in the Collin County jail. When I finally came back, people that I met on the ground for that justice fight told me, hey, there's this case out of Plano. And I realized it's the same guy. It's the same detective that basically cost me the protection of my daughter. Fast forward to 2024, I have access to legal service, and I was inquiring about, was there anything I could do now that that particular detective is a convicted felon. I believe he got 11 years, either 8 or 11 years for being a part of that drug trafficking ring. And I was talking to them about that, and somehow the conflict of interest check was missed. that said, that call didn't end well. It's kind of a lot of, why do you want to do something 8 years later? Long story short, I felt like the next day when all of a sudden I had officers pounding on my door in Oklahoma, that someone was coming after me because I had just talked about wanting to go after the situation with the officer that now is a convicted felon for being a drug trafficker that was responsible for the death of a Fairview man. And as I'm inquiring to try to address him, or at least address the fact that he botched me getting a protective order for my daughter, I thought somebody was coming to get me. There had been some kind of false allegation. So as they're trying to do a death notification for my son, I'm on the phone with attorneys absolutely saying, do not open the door, instructing me to ask, do they have a warrant? So that's what had been happening the day before my son is allegedly found dead, and the local police came to my house banging on the doors, trying to get me to open. I had told them, and it was the truth, I wasn't dressed. And so unfortunately, instead of them going away, and I would ask them, what is this about? They wouldn't tell me anything. So at some point after I'd said I'm not dressed, trying to get more information, they went to banging on my front door, then also banging on my back door. So I was inside the house feeling like I was under siege. I didn't know what was going on. And so I didn't want to open the door, obviously.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, I had actually gone live on Facebook at the time. That was my old Marlena Christopher account that I lost access to, I want to say in December of 2024. I had gone live to say, I'm in my house. I don't know what's happening. I think this is related to my daughter. This is what I just exposed to an attorney the day before. And when my son came, he did the search that he was talking about in the audio of checking to see, hey, is there anything going on in Allen, Texas, which is where my youngest son, who's now 21, lived? Is there anything going on in Stillwater, Oklahoma? Because that was the only one of the brothers, because I have 4 sons, we couldn't get a hold of. When he did a search for Stillwater and saw a recent report for body found at Boomer Lake Park, that's when he came in and said, Mom, I think you should look at this. And so the call that you all just heard that was 22 minutes was after we had been going through this whole standoff at the door, but the attorneys open it, ask them if they have a warrant. Eventually I was advised, get their name, get their badge numbers. And after that, we can set up an interview for a mutually convenient time. That was the advice I was getting from the attorney to protect me, because if there's no warrant and I've told them, I need to know what's happening and they're not responding, then the next advice was, well, you need to leave her property. You're scaring her, right?
Yeah.
And so once my son did the search and saw that article, that's where you hear the audio starting. And I'm saying, no, don't tell me this. I can't hear this. Like, you're not telling me that this article.
That was heartbreaking to listen to.
Yeah, is related. And so that's what you just heard. That was the first call. You heard him clearly say he wrapped something completely around his neck. There's an interview that I do where I actually showed not my son's face, but I show his neck when we finally got to see him in the funeral home visiting room weeks later. And he only has one mark on one side of his neck. So already that theory that he had something going completely around his neck is debunked.
And the fact that they think that his body would hold up that weight on that little tiny string.
Right. And so that's another thing that I showed on the interview I did with Taylor House Publishing, is I showed pictures of, I want to say, well, I don't know if it was on the Taylor House Publishing interview or if it's on the Justice for Joshua James YouTube that I did. In that YouTube, I wound up, I'm not sharing screen right now, am I, Katie?
No. All I can see is us and then plus my messages or whatever.
Okay, perfect. I'm seeing a message really quickly. Someone that was going to possibly join the stream. Okay. So, 1 second. So anyways, that's kind of what was going on in that whole situation. So, oh, sorry, I was going back to where we saw the part that was left from the tree. So I know that it's either on the Justice for Joshua James page or it's on the Taylor House Publishing interview that I did. But let me see if I can get the picture pulled back up again on my laptop just to show it. I think I can. I know one of the videos, let me see if I can go to his Justice for Joshua James page. Y'all, this is a jacket that the strings on his jacket are not even enough to tie a shoe, let alone while he's in the jacket, wrap it completely around his neck and around the tree. It's not physically possible. And so I show.
And you said they were very short, right?
Very short strings. Yeah, so what I'm going to try to do really quickly is the other thing. So they have plastic, obviously very flimsy plastic tighteners on the edge of the jacket, you know, where you take a jacket that's a string and then it kind of tightens. Y'all, they did such a great investigation at the tree that my son was allegedly found at that they left one of the plastic tighteners on the ground. So you're going to hear more audio in a minute, but let me go ahead and just share the screen where there is a picture. I'm going to share the entire screen. And I'm going to go ahead and show that picture really quickly. Can you all see the screen? Can you see the screen, Katie?
Yes.
So, y'all, if you can imagine this little plastic tightener allegedly holding up a man's body, my son was 25, to hang on a tree, probably did not happen. But all we knew was when we went to the tree that they said his body was at, we looked around carefully, we looked down, and we didn't know that there was anything about what he was wearing. They didn't give us that information. We just happened to see it, and we thought, you know what, we should pick that up. So my son had a paper towel in his pocket. He used the paper towel to touch the tightener and put it in the paper towel, so we never put fingerprints on it, and we took it from the scene. 2 weeks later, sure enough, when we actually got to the funeral home where he'd been transferred in Texas and they gave us a bag of his clothing, we saw absolutely that was the other tightener on his jacket. So again, the whole theory of he used strings that were not even enough to go around his neck. The tightener obviously broke.
Yeah.
And the police did an investigation around the tree, but left the tightener from his clothes. That's how thorough they were out there in Stillwater.
And you said no autopsy. They did an autopsy before, correct? Right? That was the first.
No autopsy whatsoever. So
Never.
if you notice, nothing. So as you notice in this audio, he talks about how protocol, he mentions he's being taken to Oklahoma City to get an autopsy. I don't know if you remember hearing that in the audio. They did not do an autopsy.
That is insane, because they do that for any suspicious deaths.
That and under Oklahoma law, unattended deaths, especially of a 25-year-old, are supposed to have an autopsy.
Can't you file a lawsuit or something?
Well, I'm not really totally positive.
I don't want to get into that. I don't want to ruin anything if I'm. We'll just skip over that topic.
So yes, but definitely I do believe his rights were violated in that regard by him not getting a state mandated autopsy. And again, why were they so quick
and
to rush
your rights too?
And absolutely, and determine no foul play. So that is
how can they determine no foul play without an autopsy? It's impossible.
Right.
Impossible.
So
and then they would need to determine if he had any alcohol or drugs in his system. This is insane that they didn't do anything.
Well, they did do a toxicology. They did do alleged X-ray, and then There was something else. Toxicology, X-ray, and I want to say some type of visual exam or something. So they did 3 things, but it was not an autopsy. They are mandated to do
Like
an
they
autopsy.
didn't cut open his chest or anything?
They did not do an autopsy. The other thing that is a substantial problem is when they did whatever little surface level medical examiner, okay, hurry up, bag him, tag him, get him out of here, mom come pick him up. 24 hours later, they said the case was closed, he's bagged, he's tagged, come get him. Is he actually had dots in his head that looked like taser marks.
Yeah, I
And
remember seeing
those
that.
were not even documented on the medical examiner report that did document any type of visible marks, bruises, intentions. Somehow they left out the holes in his head. And they also left out his swollen lip. And they also left out what looked like his bruised nose. And so none of those notes are in the report. So that's a problem.
Oh yeah, big time.
So, yeah, I see your comments here. It just says that the way they told you was so cruel. They should have been able to give you some more answers instead of leaving you confused. Absolutely. I'm so sorry, Marlene. I did not deserve this. Thank you.
Like they knew, you know what I mean? They knew more.
They knew more, but we didn't get more. So, as you said, so he says they found him hanging from a tree. I'd want to know everything. This is unbelievable. I'd request the interview videos. They should have her in an interrogation room, right? Okay, can we see this? Right. So all of that stuff I did ask for. Again, they didn't want to produce any of it. So we're going to get to that as well. But I'm going to go ahead and dive into the next one.
Of course not. They never want to produce anything that could help you.
Absolutely. So I'm going to dive into, I almost want to go straight into the detective's call, just so you can hear from Stillwater PD what the lieutenant says and what the detective says. I was going to do them in the order that I had them. So we get this first death notification from Lieutenant Cody Manuel with Stillwater PD. The next call was the next morning with the girlfriend. The next call after that was with the Oklahoma City Medical Examiner's Office, which used a Tulsa medical examiner. The next call was with the detective that says, no, he wasn't hanging. And then the 5th call we were going to go over tonight is then like 5 days later when I'm trying to retrieve my son's stuff. And the girlfriend's mom says, I know you want his effects, but she's the priority. So I will pick out an outfit for him to be buried in. And basically that is not our concern right now. And so that was the order I was going to go through, but I think I'm going to actually pivot to the detective call so that we can hear law enforcement to law enforcement side by side and hear the very different narratives that they give about how my son was allegedly found. So let me see which call this one is. 1, 2, 4, 5. Here we go. And I'm going to share this one. So now if you're in the right chat, your comment should show up live.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Do I go in the chat, correct? Or is it the comments?
It's the comments. I think it'll say, yeah.
I'm going to put a testing one real quick. This one.
Okay.
Hold on. This one. Testing. It did it twice. Looks like on my end. Do you see them?
No. So try comments. Okay, so you put stuff in comments, and I think that's
so let's try. That's the right one or no? Or chat. Let's try the chat. Let's see.
Well, do comments. Do comments. Comments will come up on the screen. I'm looking at it here.
Okay.
So you can do comments, and that'll come up on the screen in real time.
And if I mute my video for a second, just pay no mind to it. I am listening.
Mm-hmm. No problem. Let me go ahead and find the second law enforcement audio.
And thank you for sharing with us.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for being here to do this with me, because this was not, again, it's taken a lot for me to get to this point. But I'm
I
at a
understand.
place where this is what I need to do now. Am I screen sharing?
Not yet.
Okay, good. All right, I've got 1, 2, 4, 5 that I'm pulling up right now.
Okay.
And this is going to be a much longer audio because this is the call with the actual detective. It is 56 minutes and 59 seconds.
Okay.
So let me see if I can minimize it. Okay, I could. I'm going to get rid of that. All right. I'm selecting sharing sound, entire screen, and share. So now I'm going to pull back up.
Look at you go. Get right.
Yep. And now, do you see a white screen?
Yes. Well, I see the music note in the audio or the audio. Yeah, I see your mouse moving and everything. I see everything.
You can hear it. Well,
Not
it
yet.
hasn't, but you'll hear it in a minute. Let's do it. Test. I'm going to let it play. It should start. Can you hear now?
Yep.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna put on mute.
My name's Marlena. Christopher. I am Joshua Hayes' mom. Yes. I wanted to reach out to you and just find out, I guess, a little bit more and see if we can help get his belongings.
Okay. Are you talking about like his belongings from his apartment, or what exactly are you wanting?
Oh, well, right now it was, I talked to the boys of the medical examiners, and if he had, I guess, cell phone keys and a key, or my cell phones and a key fob and a wallet on him. And I think maybe his clothes and stuff. I don't know if that was with his body, but yeah, can you tell me? Well, yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry, but she said definitely. I guess you guys have. No, I think he has. I think she said that some of that stuff is with him, his body, and some of the stuff is with you. I don't know. You tell me. Yeah, I'm sorry, but.
It's okay. So his clothing and everything is at the medical examiner's office. The only thing that I have are I have his wallet, cell phone, a set of keys, and a vape, which I will be holding on to all of those until the investigation is closed. I cannot close the investigation until the ME finishes up their report and provides me a copy of their report.
Okay, I think she said she finished because the body's ready to go if we were to pick him up. So,
well, I mean, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but they're done with like their procedures as far as like preparing him and doing what they need to do. But it does take some time for them to actually complete the report and then send it to law enforcement.
okay, how long are we talking?
It just depends. Sometimes that's a few weeks, sometimes that's a few months. It just depends like on their timeline.
So even though they finished all their stuff, it can take weeks or months for them to get it to you so that you're finishing your investigation.
Correct.
Okay. Are you able to tell me just more, like just what happened and what you've been able to figure out in your investigation, or just, I don't understand. Yeah.
Okay. So just based off of the conversation that I had with my lieutenant, whose name is Cody Manuel, he said that he spoke with you last night.
Yeah, but we were, like, he said very limited information about supposedly I guess he was hanging from a tree, but then I don't, I mean, you gotta hopefully understand. Like, a lot of us, we're just still in shock and trying to process. So, if you can just share whatever, because I think the detectives
Yeah.
that talked to Kelsey.
I'm sorry. What about Kelsey?
So I think there's a detective that talked to Kelsey, and maybe, I don't know if you're doing the other parts of the investigation or if he's doing that. But I'll be honest, I think there's no manual for this, I wasn't expecting this, and I just kind of in and out a little bit, so I'm just trying to process, figure out a little bit more. Yeah, thanks.
Okay, so basically, what from talking to Kelsey, they had a tough conversation the night before, and they had decided, or she had decided she didn't want to continue to pursue a relationship with him anymore. It was, obviously not something that he wanted to hear, but she didn't think that there was going to be anything like this happen. And so he walked out of the apartment, and she thought he had gone down to the car to just think, or I guess he did that pretty regularly, and then at some point he stopped responding to her messages, and so she thought he was just at a friend's house or something like that, and so obviously he never came home. I believe, based off the investigation, that he walked to a lake that's by their apartment, and it's a lake that he went to pretty frequently. It was somewhere that he liked to go and thought it was, really peaceful, beautiful. And then as far as how he actually died, I will share with you whatever you're comfortable hearing. But you're just going to have to kind of guide me on how much information you want about that.
I mean, what's I don't want any information at the same time. I just for each measure, because we can get a chance to find it. We just want to know how to hide it. So, and it's not just that.
I'll tell you that, there's nothing there's nothing outwardly wrong with his body. What happened was not violent in any way. It was a very, I don't think there was any suffering in what happened. Basically, he just was able to cut off the blood supply in his neck, which caused him to pass out and then eventually pass away. And there's like no indication of any kind of foul play or anything like that, based off of some information from his phone. I can see that he turned his location off so that Kelsey didn't know where he was. He, didn't want anybody to find him until he could complete what he wanted to do.
Was there any indication of like a suicide note or a message or anything?
Not on him. I haven't been able to look through his phone completely, but there was no note on his person. There's a possibility that there's like some type of note in his phone that I haven't been able to look through and find yet.
Okay.
I should be able to completely look through the phone next week. Just with being 4:30, I'm not able to get to that today. But I mean, if there is, I'll definitely let you know about that. Just because I think you need to know for your own closure.
Right. So I'm sorry. Do you all actually have any pictures of him that we can see to confirm? I mean, I guess, the fingerprints or just found his ID on him. But like, it's just really hard to, yeah.
Well, I mean, there'll be a point when his body is released to go to a funeral home, and then at that point you'll be able to view him at the funeral home. His ID was on him. I was able to visually identify him from his driver's license photograph.
Right. But you don't have any pictures, or did you guys did you take fingerprints, or you just visual ID? It basically.
Well, I mean, we do take pictures, but they're evidence, and that's not something that we can release.
Okay. How was he found?
He was found by somebody that was walking their dog at the lake. It's a pretty public area.
Do you know what time he was found?
Do what?
Do you know what time he was found?
I think it was, let me look and I can tell you exactly what time we got the call. I think it was 9:30. 31. Yeah, 9:31 a.m.
That's when you got the call, 9:30.
That's the time that the witness that found him, they called us.
Oh, witness found him at 9:30 when I called you.
Yes.
Okay. So you said that you feel like you don't feel like there was any suffering because he was able to cut off his blood flow until the string. I don't understand what that means. So are you saying like this is the tree that he was able to climb? I mean, like how did he? Strangle him. I don't. Yeah. If you can, I'm lost.
So he was wearing a jacket, and what he did is the jacket had a hood, and there were strings on the hood, and he took the strings and tied them over one of the tree branches, so his feet were on the ground, but it applied pressure to his carotid arteries on both sides, because the strings are on both sides, and he was able to occlude the blood flow to his brain, which caused him to pass out. And then eventually, that will cause you, if you don't have any blood flow to your brain, that will eventually cause you to die. there's no like physical trauma on his body. You know, like sometimes when somebody says hanging, you think of them like falling from a higher place and, you know, not having their feet on the ground. This was not like that.
So his feet were on the ground, but he was able to hang himself with the string.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you apply pressure to your neck, to your carotid artery, that will cause you to pass out and lose consciousness.
So he didn't, like, snap his neck. He wasn't saying,
No.
he just took the strings and maybe, like, I don't know, how did he apply pressure to his artery?
Well, it was tied over a branch, and so it was enough pressure on his neck to be able to stop the blood flow.
So there's a ligature mark on his neck from where he stopped the blood flow.
I don't believe there's any ligature mark. Because it's not a situation where there necessarily has to be any type of mark for you to stop the blood flow to your brain.
So how long do you think did you not think he suffered at all?
I don't think he suffered at all. I think this was like a very gentle way of him to do this, because essentially he just, you know, passed out and didn't feel anything after.
Was he in the open area or in the bush?
He was up against a tree and sat on kind of like this long pavilion that goes out a little bit into the water. There's a sidewalk, and you can walk out on the peninsula, and there's just a single tree out there. And so he was on one side of the tree. There's like a little bench over by the tree.
So he was over the water on the peninsula by the single tree.
He wasn't over the water. This peninsula is like concrete, and it's got, you can walk out on it. But it's not up in the air or over the water. It's just kind of jumps out into the water.
Sorry, I'm not from the water.
It's okay. I mean, if you wanted to look it up on like Google Maps or something, it's you would be able to see it that way.
Okay. Is there any other I mean, is this a common way that people commit suicide? Like, how many of these types of cases have you worked before? I just haven't heard anything like this.
This is the first one I've worked with, like using the coat strings, like the hood strings. To me, like it seemed like that was a pretty impulsive thing, like spur of the moment. He didn't come prepared, like with anything else. Like, I think he was just in a low place and feeling lost and feeling like he had lost everything with Kelsey and him breaking up. So, and I know that he had been struggling with depression and had been on medication until I think he just got to a point where he was just in a really low place.
So you've already gotten all of his medical records about his depression and everything?
I have information about what medications he was taking and who his doctor is.
And who his doctor is?
Mm-hmm.
Do you all, in the investigation, did you get any further records about that or no?
I mean, at this point, I don't know that there's a need to, because it's everything from the scene to talking to Kelsey. Everything indicates that he did this to himself, and so there's not really a need to, unless the enemy's office contacts me and says, hey, there's a problem here. You know, he had some injury that I couldn't see, and, you know, we think that something else happened to him, but I mean, at this point, I just don't think that's the case, based on everything that I know. But the reason that we do an investigation like this, and, you know, I do talk to Kelsey and do, you know, and looking through his phone, is to just make sure that this is what happened and not something else.
Right, so when you look through his phone, the last activity, like he didn't have any other, what was his last text messages, any phone calls?
I can't tell you that right now because I haven't looked through all of it. I can tell you that he purposely turned off his location on his phone.
Was the phone also turned off?
No.
So he turned off the location but not the phone?
Right. So, like, him and Kelsey shared their locations with each other, and they also had like 360. And he disabled the like 360 and then turned off his location on his phone.
Okay. And
like he did that so that she would not know where he was.
how did you guys know to get a hold of Kelsey?
Well, he had his wallet on him with an address in it, and when we looked up the address, her name was on the utilities. And just ways that we have of finding out information.
Okay.
And he's not from here, so we didn't have any record, you know. We don't have, the police department doesn't have any record of him in our system, so.
Just the address and utilities, okay. So you confirmed with his complex that he was living there?
His driver's license literally has the address on it.
Okay, yeah. Got it. Okay, so you were asking me
Right,
if there was... Okay, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I can't remember if it was in his driver's license or an ID that was in there, but it was on it. That's how we got it.
Right. So you do still have to do some, what other things do you still have to do in your police investigation? Or you said you were done with that part already, you're just waiting on the medical examiner, right?
I still have to go through his phone, and then also I'm waiting on the medical examiner's report.
Okay. Are you the only one handling this investigation, or are there other people helping you, or?
No, I'm the only one.
Okay. So. Are you aware that they have cameras in their house?
Yeah. I also have the videos of him coming and going from that night. And he has an application on his phone that also has the videos, so.
Right. So that, is that all being saved as well?
Mm-hmm.
And, so what time did he leave?
Between 8:30 and 9.
Okay, so he just left one time and then he didn't come back at all.
Right.
So the video that you, yeah, the
Shortly
video.
after that period, he turned off his location.
So the video that you have just shows he leaves one time and then he doesn't come back.
Right.
Okay.
But Kelsey's also provided me with some screenshots and stuff, so I know the exact time that he turned off his location. Because it says on her side, since they share, it says no longer sharing location information with you as of this time and date.
Okay, but you have all camera video, like surrounding when he left,
Mm-hmm.
and the fact that he never came back. Like, how much video were you able to save?
Well, right now it's all stored in video clips on his phone, so I have everything. But Kelsey also provided me with the videos that she sent to me from her phone, because she has the camera app too.
So how long does that stay active before it loops? So are you able to save that?
Well, through settings on his phone, how we preserve things when we have a phone, it's on there indefinitely. Nobody can erase it. I have access to it.
Okay, so it can't go away.
Right.
You mentioned like getting his stuff from his apartment. Is that something that y'all normally facilitate for next of kin in situations like this?
No, we don't have anything to do with that. That's a completely like civil process. That'll just have to be you and Kelsey and his dad or whoever wants to try to manage that. Which I don't anticipate any issues.
Oh yeah, no. I talked to her. We spoke, and
Okay.
she's pretty shut up. I mean, they've been dating since 2001, so I mean, we're pretty connected and able to talk to each other. And she comes to the house for holidays and stuff with them. So yeah, I know. Talk to her, and she's pretty, shaken up by him. So it just spent time with him. And he's in a positive place. I mean, and then things were hard. He was working. I think he told me, he was working at the school and working for Amazon and working for, I think he also did like DoorDash and Grubhub. And then I started doing events. I think he said they were at like the college, maybe like weekend sports events. So he was working, and she actually went on to an event with him recently. And so, and then he was working like 4 or 5 jobs. And honestly, when he told me yesterday they had an argument, I already knew it was about money because he had mentioned how that was a stressor, but just saying that, priorities are different in different families, right? And that's the most important thing. So that's family time, so that's money. Just recognizing that that's a different, priority for him, but just really also really wanted to be, with family more. Right, and after he was getting ready to stay, and just went on a trip with me and his younger brother really loves, and it's really just hard to process that, as much as he was finally realizing, yeah, she may not be the most thrilled about everything not being on a tight money schedule. Family matters, right, for reasons like that. Because you look up one day and not enough money in the world can bring a person's life back. Money comes and money goes, but people's lives, once they're gone, we can't pay enough money to bring them back. And so he felt pretty okay with the fact that, you know, that's kind of a difference. And again, he's going to continue to still work to do the best that he can.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Sorry, go ahead.
So yeah, it's just very. Would you be able to take us to the park and show us what has happened?
Are you planning on coming to? I mean, I don't have a problem doing that. I'll just need to make sure that I'm available to do that.
Yeah, if you have a few minutes, I mean, we're here because we went to the Emmy's office. So yeah, we're here now. We can meet you. That would be great.
I would not. I'm not going to be able to do that this evening.
Do you have some, I guess, another officer in the department that can just meet us in Charlotte?
I don't know if I can do that. They're probably not going to be willing to do that. Being that it's my case, I wouldn't have a problem doing that, except I have like an obligation that I have to be at 5 o'clock today. So I can tell you where it's at, and it should be fairly easy to find.
Okay. Okay. Do you have like a picture you that we can maybe get from you so that we know exactly where we're going?
Yes.
Okay. Is it okay if you come and get like a picture so that way we know where we're going? I don't know if I mean, do you still have crime scene tape up, or is it open to the public?
No, it's open to the public now.
So maybe if we wanted to, we love flowers there, memorial or anything like that, or can't do that in the public park. And I think we wanted
to put anything up there that's not like permanent anywhere. It doesn't damage any of the. Doesn't damage anything. So if you wanted to bring flowers or some kind of thing, I think you could do that. I don't know.
Well, yeah, no, I definitely don't want to keep you. So yeah, if you have just even just a picture of where, so that we can go and just spend our time and just see. I really appreciate that.
Do you have like an email I can send it to?
Sure.
Okay. That's just going to be the best way for me to take a picture and send it. I don't have like a department cell phone or anything like that.
I got you. Okay. So it's JESUS, forgive, FORGIVES, saves, SAVES, restores.
Okay.
Proton mail.
At what?
It's Proton, PROTON. Actually, you could just do Proton.me. It's a shorter version of it.
Okay, so Jesus forgives, saves, restores at Proton.me.
Yes.
Okay, and then can I get your phone number just in case there's some issue with me sending it?
Sure, 405.
Okay.
896 0922.
0922?
Yep, and we'll look out for it. We're here, so we can go over there now, and I can even confirm that I've gotten in here just a little bit. If I can log in.
Let me. Okay. I'll try to do it while I'm on the phone with you.
So how do you all determine like next of kin for like picking up the body and all that kind of stuff? Is that basically, you know?
We provide whatever information we have. Like we have your name, but we haven't made contact with you yesterday. Just because you were not in Stillwater, so we provided your name. And I don't even think we have a phone number, so we just provided your name, which was given to us by Kelsey. And then once we gathered some other family information, we also provided that to them.
Gotcha. Okay. So you don't have any other listed family that next of kin that we would engage with at this point, right?
At Webb?
So you don't have any other people listed as next of kin that they would then engage with, correct?
No, we did provide his father's name and phone number also.
So does he have the ability to just go into the body like the same ability that I do?
I think the NME's office will have an expectation that you guys will come to some agreement, and if not, then it has to go through, like a judge has to basically award possession to somebody. But that obviously takes time, and as, you know, that process draws out, the body can't be preserved forever, so I think in the interest of Joshua, you guys probably need to try to get on the same page about something.
Have you spoken with his father?
Yes.
So has he mentioned he's got plans to come? I haven't talked, he hasn't been a part of the boys' lives since they were like 3, 4, and 5. I mean, maybe occasionally every once in a blue moon. So.
Yeah, I talked to him, and then I also talked to his sister, and I think she had plans to try to get a hold of you.
When did you talk to her?
I talked to her today at the same time I talked to him. It was like he wanted her to be on the phone, so I talked to her.
About what time it was?
I don't.
Yeah, because I wasn't aware that they were even reaching out. Like they really haven't been a part of Joshua's life. He was a toddler. I mean, they've done a couple of holidays together in the last 20 plus years. I know.
Okay, so sorry, that took me a minute. I had to basically take a picture of the location on the map. Okay. I just sent it, so let me know if you get it.
Mhm.
And so where it's at, you'll have to you'll have to drive to the lake on the west side and park and then walk up to this location. You can't drive to it, but it's not too far.
Okay, I see it.
Okay, did it come through?
Yeah, I did. I see the 3 of 3. Are there any cameras at the lake?
No.
Are there houses around the lake?
There's houses, but there's trees between the houses and the lake and this location.
So when we see this location, it'll be like pretty covered up.
There's like a tree line on the west side of the lake, and this is actually the peninsula goes, I don't know, like a third of the way out into the lake. So there's no possible camera coverage from any houses.
Okay. All right. Well, if I have any other questions, can I email you at this email address?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. And then if there is another, so it's just you working by yourself, no other supervisors or detectives or anything?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be your point of contact for anything related to the investigation.
Okay, so the one that we talked to yesterday, he was...
That's Lieutenant Manuel. He's my lieutenant, and basically the only reason that he talked to you is because I was in the middle of the interview with Kelsey, and I wanted someone from our agency to be able to talk to you and answer questions.
I really appreciate that. When the investigation is complete, is there anything that we should expect or that I could receive from you? Like, is there a case record or even something that says, is there a record available right now that I could get records or something that says?
There's like basically it'll be a piece of paper saying what the call type was, and the date and time, but since it's an open investigation, they can't release any type of report or anything like that.
But they can have the initial form. Like just the basic form you're saying?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, where would I get that form from?
You will have to contact our records department. You can call them, and you should be able to make like an email request. But they won't be back to work. They won't be back. But you can call just the police department number, and they should be able to help you with getting that call for service record.
Records are open until 5, right?
So our records on Fridays, they only work half day. So they go at noon.
Okay. Do you have an email address for them? And you don't have anything you can give us?
No, I can't release anything.
Like that one sheet that you're talking about?
That has to come from our records department, yes.
Okay. Can you just email me their information to do that records request?
I am not. I think I'm trying to find out. I think it's just records. Before I can tell you, I can do that.
So I have a question because it didn't even occur to me it didn't even occur to me that, like, I didn't even know that they were making phone calls and that they were also contacted as next of kin.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're concerned, I think it came to me they were thinking about cremation, which again, I don't. Okay. So I mean, I'll reach out to them and talk to them, but if there was a issue with concerns that they might do something, how would I file to let them know I'm opposing that?
That would be through the ME's office, and then you guys would, like I said, you would have to have that hearing where a judge would rule who gets to say.
So I would just need to reach out to the ME's office and let her know that I have concerns.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely try to get in contact with them and see if you guys are on the same page before you do that. But
yeah, I mean, these are people that have not talked to us in 20 plus years. The last time I saw my ex-husband was when he was going to prison for beating me with violating a protective order and a felony. I literally have not seen him. And
that's why I said it may be worthwhile to try to reach out to his sister instead, so you don't even have to have contact with him, and just see, like, you know, what they're thinking, and they'll look together.
All right. Well, I definitely appreciate your help, and yeah, if you can send me that records and information.
I may have to do that when I come back to work on Tuesday. Otherwise, you can call our main number and just ask to talk to records, and they can hook you up.
Okay. All right. I really appreciate it. Can we reach out if we have any questions?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And then there's no one else. I'm sorry, when you left the house, you know, is there anyone else where he went or that saw him or any other interaction with any other individuals, any other text messages, anything else that you've determined at this point, any other contact besides just leaving the apartment that night and then waking up, you know, found in the morning?
Not at this time, but like I said, I haven't been all the way through.
Haven't gone all the way through the phone?
Yeah. Hello. Hey, I'm on the phone. That's like.
Okay. All right. Well, Rachel, I definitely appreciate your time and talking with us today. And we'll be in touch.
Marlene, are you here?
Yes.
Somebody here?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Were you needing something like right now?
Oh, no, we just, like I said, we were here in Stillwater, so when you mentioned records, I looked down and I saw 457, and I was like, oh, okay. Maybe we can go in for 45. And so when we made it to the door, his brother is the one that's inside right now.
Okay. Okay, and my dispatch is telling me that he's wanting to get, I guess, Joshua's property, which can't happen today.
Oh, I didn't know he was walking in and asking for that.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, this is you know, I don't have any control over, that's what I'm saying, all of other people all of a sudden intervening and doing stuff I don't even know they're doing. So he's asking for Joshua's property. I didn't know he was asking for Joshua's property. She said,
No. You guys are here, and that's what my dispatch is saying.
No, yeah, we're standing outside the police department. One of my sons has gone into the police department, so if dispatch is talking to anyone, Yeah, I'm not with him right now, so I don't know what he's asking for. When we went,
Okay.
like I said, I was talking to you, you said records, and I looked down, it was 4:57, and I was like, oh, that normally closes at 5, let's walk to the door, so we all got up to walk. And then the door was locked, so I basically walked away, but again, you know, he's got other families, I didn't even know he was gonna ask for his belongings. So I guess if he's made contact with someone, he's asking, I mean, that's Joshua's brother, he's 28 years old, so I don't have any control over what he's doing. So, I guess we didn't get here together. I guess, like, again, the family that hasn't been around calling you all of a sudden, but in death, that tends to bring that up, so.
Okay, is he still in the lobby?
I have no idea. I'm back in the car. Where's your brother? I guess he's inside.
Okay, I'll step down and talk to him, but,
Okay.
I'll just let him know that I've talked to you and we're on the same page about what's gonna happen and you can fill him in on what we've talked about.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I can do that. No worries. Thank you so much. And I'll kind of make you wondering if I really said that. Make sure he knows. Yeah, I'll meet you in the lobby. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, bye.
Bye. I guess it's inside somehow. He's asking for his property. So she's going to come down and talk now.
Okay, I'm going to stop it. It has like 6 more minutes, but we don't actually wind up seeing her or talking to her.
Yeah, my phone was lagging every time I would type it. It was hard to focus. That's why I was like trying to refrain because it was like I was trying to respond to you and then I would type something and it would take forever for that one letter to come. And then if you made a mistake, it backed up. So I just was like, I can't even listen to the call and do this. I was having trouble.
You're okay, no worries. So I just, I'm sure there is a lot of things that you picked up on. I don't know if you have some general thoughts you want to share.
I just feel like the whole thing is just like them working together. I mean, I don't know how, this is them. I mean, I don't even know. I hate to even say this. This is just how they all are with everything, no matter what. Like the same thing happened with me whenever I was trying to get help with my situation in Plano PD. Like they're all like that. They do this gaslighting thing where they try to give you some bull crap story and then just leave you hanging every time. I don't know. It's just hard to process all of this, honestly. And it's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
She's not being truthful and she's just telling you what the girlfriend said happened. And she didn't, and to me, what it sounds like is she didn't investigate into anything. And the phone, she could have gotten that, ran through that right away, immediately.
One would think.
So, I mean, it's just all gaslighting. I mean, anybody who doesn't say that this phone call wasn't gaslighting is just slow. I mean, that's just what she was doing.
Yeah, it was,
She had to have been.
The total amount of time they expected me to bother their department was 1 hour and 22 minutes after the death of my child. 1 hour, 22 minutes.
And you know what? And all they had to do is let you go through the damn phone and let you go through, all those things immediately.
And even if they didn't let me do it because maybe they were doing an actual investigation.
Yeah.
I don't know if you recalled the beginning of the call. She says that basically her part is done. All she's waiting on is the Emmy to close the case. And I tell her,
Yeah.
okay, great. I just left the Emmy. They're done. And she's like, oh, no, it could take, 3 to 6 months or whatever. And so with that, the only reason she even mentioned going through his phone at all was when I said, hey, is there a suicide note? Hey, do you have any other information on his last communication? And that's when she says, well, I haven't done it yet. But she had already said previously she was done with her investigation, just waiting for the Emmy report, which indicated she wasn't even planning to go through his phone if I hadn't said something about it. When she says those audios, they're saved, they can't, or the videos, they can't be deleted. Well, they were deleted from his phone. They had this phone for 90 days. And I made sure that from the time I took it out of the sealed bag, that everything was recorded on what was actually in the phone and what wasn't. There was no videos in the phone. Now, the calls that were missed before hers is there was actually a call with the girlfriend and with the medical examiner before I even got on the phone with this detective. And the problem that she has is the phone call with the girlfriend said that he left twice. And if you recognize in this call, the call with the detective, I make sure I ask her twice, like, are you sure he only left one time? Because you're saying you've seen the video. Well, I was testing her because the girlfriend who I talked to first said he left twice. So I already know if the detective is telling me I have video, I know exactly when he left. Yep, it was only one time. But the girlfriend is telling me, nope, he went and left the first time, went to sit in his car. Then he came back up and left again, which is 2 times. I already knew, staying completely calm while talking to this detective, that she was lying to me. I already knew it. But, you got to keep, either she's lying or the girlfriend's lying. And going based on the fact that when I got his phone back, there was no video, it was certainly the detective. Doesn't mean the girlfriend's not lying. I was really disturbed when she said, he turned off his location because he didn't want anyone to find him until after.
Yeah, how did she know that?
Exactly. So again, you can't.
It just basically what it sounded to me was she was repeating the girlfriend's theory. And that's all she was doing, because it almost word for word in the way she was like acting about it. And it was almost like Kelsey was her friend, the way she was discussing it.
Yep. And that is exactly the feel that has been ever since. Certainly was not a professional, investigation at all. And again, as you can hear, why is mom asking so many questions? It's, basically open and shut. And so this was, but I wanted you to be able to hear the part where the first detective or the lieutenant says he was hanging and something went all the way around his neck and he had to be cut down. To her
but she
saying,
said there was no ligature mark, though.
Which that's not even true, because he does actually have a ligature mark on the right side.
So, but why would she say that shit?
I don't know. Because like you said, it sounds like she's making it up as she goes along. Because the lieutenant can't say he had a string that wrapped all the way around his neck. And he had to be cut down. And another one saying, nope, all he did was apply pressure. There's no ligature mark, nothing to see here. Again, somebody's lying. And they're in the same police department. And the lieutenant is her boss. She's the subordinate. And neither one of them seem to have the same story. And so this is the problem where I just needed people to hear it.
And Haley Shaney, this happened to Haley Shaney too. well, it wasn't a hanging, but this happens often actually, where they use suicide to cover for a murder.
Correct.
Are you there? Am I
Yes.
lagging?
No.
Yeah, my internet's really crap tonight, and I'm just.
I can
I'm
hear
sorry.
you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can
Can
hear you
hear me?
too.
Yeah.
Yes,
So,
but there's a lot of suicides or a lot of murders that get labeled as suicide often, and it's like textbook same crap, like, and the same gaslighting. They did the same thing to Haley Shaney in the Colony. Her mom's been fighting for years for answers, and they keep giving her the same bull crap. And there's so much evidence that contradicts what they are saying, but they won't touch it.
did you say the Colony?
Yes. Her
Okay.
story's on my Facebook. It's Haley Shaney. She had a boyfriend that was really abusive, would text things like "I'll kill you" and things of that nature, And then all of a sudden, she gets a gunshot wound to the head. But there's a weird ring cam video that.
Okay, I think we lost Katie. We did. I'm going to go ahead and end this live. I'm sitting right at the 2-hour mark, trying to not go longer than 2 hours. But as you all heard, the lieutenant giving the theory of my son was hanging with basically strings completely around his neck and had to be cut down. And then you heard a detective say, nope, he was never hanging. Feet were always on the ground. Katie's back really briefly. Katie, can you hear me okay? I see you now, but you're glitching. I'm going to go ahead and stop this live, I think, just so we don't go too much over 2 hours. And then I'm going to see if we're able to come back in tonight to finish. Let me see what I've got going on here. Hold on one second. Okay. Testing something that is a... Okay. Katie, can you hear me? Okay, I'm not sure what's happening on your end, but thank you so much for joining me to go through these two diametrically opposed Stillwater Police Department lieutenant and detective audios about how my son passed. And as you see, again, the most that I really was supposed to ask anyone any questions in light of the death of my son is 1 hour, 22 minutes. We'll come back next time with audios from the girlfriend, the Oklahoma City medical examiner, and from the mother of the ex-girlfriend. Thanks for tuning in. I will continue as Joshua's voice until truth, transparency, and justice. Have a good evening.